Everyone. So yesterday we learned few more events concept. Have you tried them? Mouse events, keyboard events. Right. So once we finish all the events and others, we will try to design one app with all the concept. So we learned about the mouse events, keyboard events like concept. Next important is after understanding mouse and keyboard events, we need to know about other basic events like we have element state events. We have element state events. We have element state events. What are basic element state events and how they work? Generally, element state events means we have event like on blur, we have like on focus, we have like on change. These comes under element state. When element is focus, element is blur, and any value is changing, these are called as state events. I told you so many are there, but important events are these. So blur means when an element lose the focus. Focus means when it gets the focus. Change means while value is changing. When value is changing, we have this. For example, let's see. So I will add. Yeah. So one more component I will add. Element demo. Export function element demo. So what we need to do, so it should return. So what it should do and how it should return. So once the concept is, let's put one text box. Okay. Yep. So this is, we'll check once here. Yeah, element demo. Okay, let's run this. And so we have, this is passport. Now, whatever they enter inside this passport, it should be in caps. You see passport, PAN card, websites. So IFSC codes, banks, what they do, they ask you to enter in caps. You don't enter caps, they convert to caps. Now, what should happen? I entered some, so passport. So some BAH, some number, and HY something. If I entered in lowercase, then what should happen Once I finish, it should convert into uppercase. That means this, when I click inside, that is called focus. When you click outside, that is called blur. Blur. Now, what is the logic behind this? So, first point is we have to collect what they are entering in the text box. So, I will use here constant, suppose passport, set passport is equal to use state. How to get the passport? It is a string. How to get the passport? Function handle handle change. Any name you can give, doesn't matter. E. When it should fire up? When we are changing. On what? Change. Handle change. Okay. What we will do? So we will set passport. E dot target dot value. So whatever you enter in the text box, it is first collected and it is stored. Fine. That you have to do on only one event. What is that event? On chain. I already told you two-way binding can work only with on change. It is mandatory. After collecting, I will write another function. Handle blur. Blur indicates what should happen when they lose the focus. What we will do is I will set passport. Into that, I will assign the same passport number. What they entered, we collected, and we will store in the same reference. Why you are storing in the same reference? This time I will convert to uppercase. I will convert the passport number to uppercase and store in the same reference. And when you are doing, I am doing on blur. On blur, handle blur. So what will happen now? I am entering. Suppose BVP something like, so some number HY. I finish it typing. When it loses focus, it should convert. Now, what is the point why it is not converting? Because after converting, you need to assign to this text box now. To the same text box. What should be the text box value? Text box value is what? Passport. Collect the new value and use it. So it will be there. I entered something here. Suppose BVH, some number, so HYD. And when I click outside, then it is converted to upper. So what is the logic behind this? First, collect the value from the text box. And that you can do by using on change. After collecting value from that element, when they are typing, when they are selecting, then what you do? Convert into uppercase and store in the same reference. And when this should happen? When they blur. That means you click inside, that is focus. When you click outside, then it is blur. It is blur. This is regularly used in validation. We can put validations also. Validations like what? If they don't enter anything, I should say, please enter passport. Passport is required, right? How you do that? You know, how do we verify that? That means whenever they are changing, whenever they blur, we should verify and we need to display. That means we write condition, na? If it is empty string, then display a message. Otherwise, another. Validation we will see later. Validation separate topic will come. We will discuss about that. But these are state related events. So we have used two events here. On blur, on change. On focus is same. Suppose we have a constant. So we have a constant MSG set message is equal to use state, and this is empty. And what will happen is, So we will write a function handle focus. On focus, set message as suppose example BVP. So some number and HY like this we give it. And what should happen on blur? Set message as empty. Don't put any message and display the message below. Here we will display the message. That means class text warning, and I will display message here. And what will happen when we go here? I click inside. Then what it is going to do? So it should display the message because I haven't written focus. We have to add one more event on focus. Handle what? Focus. And you see now, I click inside, it will show that. I click outside, it will hide. This is focus, and I am typing something. I am typing something, and it is converted to uppercase and it is hidden. This is generally focus, blur, change like actions. Change we see in different situations with the two-way binding. I will show one more example. Let's see how to do that. I will copy this example. So in this example, we are using all three events. Blur means what is it? Element lost focus. Focus means element gets focus. Change means when value changes. These are the three basic events. So when element lost the focus, when element get the focus, and when it is change, right? We have to define value changes. Example, I will copy this example. Oh, so this is element demo dot JSX. That is element demo JS. This is one concept of element state events. Let's try another one. Means in different occasions we can use them. Let's try another concept. Suppose let's do this here. Suppose we will try to create another is. So we will try to create an EMI calculator. You see here, there is an HDFC EMI calculator. Now in this, when I am changing the slider, you can see it changes the text box. The slider value will be displayed in the text box. And when I am changing, it is displayed there. Not only that, this interest rate is displayed in the text box. Not only that, when I enter some number here, I will change and I enter some number here 3. That means I entered 3. It will affect here. Text box is changing slider is changing text box. This is value on change. Drop downs, sliders, and while changing itself, we can show the result. How much EMI they have to pay, we can do. Let's see one example how to do this. And generally, a developer need not to know about the logic behind. He need to just implement. That means how EMI is calculated. What is EMI formula? I don't care. I don't know also. And I don't need to learn about it. Right? I am a developer. I may build apps for different finance people. And it's not necessary that you should know their calculations. They will give you all the input. They will say that you please build this calculator. And for this is the formula we use. And what is developer's responsibility? Convert that formula into the software understandable. You are Java developer, you must able to convert EMI formula. You must able to convert this formula. I will show you. You must able to convert this formula. That means what you have to do. So I will just keep it here. Yeah. What you need to do is you need to set up this formula. This is the EMI formula. This you need to convert into Java understandable. Obviously, you can do. You have operators, you have math libraries, right? That means you can't write like this, but you can transform it into the computer understandable and you have to implement. So let's see how it works, means how to design this, right? See. So I'm creating design, design and all requires a lot of styling. Huh? So I will keep it simple. EMI calculator. Okay. EMI calculator dot JSX. Okay. And the export function EMI calculate. And it should return a simple div. Okay. So now here we are adding EMI calculator in the startup. Fine. Now what we will do, this is empty. Yeah, this is empty we are having. Let's design a simple UI for that. So I will put a class. This is BG secondary and BG light, margin 4 or 5, padding 4. Okay, so I will keep style, height, some 300, 400 pixel. Now we have this here, and I think margin we will not give. The padding is fine. So here also padding is 5. We have some gap. That's just a design we are having. The original size is this. Huh? Original size is this. So the style height is 500. That's okay. This is what we are having. Now, what is the concept is we need to implement, right? We need to implement the functionality. Okay, let's keep the design. This will be divided into class. Yeah. This is row and we have a div call as 6 or say 8, class as call 4. Okay. So here we are defining a simple div. This is having a class margin bottom 4. And here we have input type is text. And this is text box. And what is the label they have? They are having a label loan amount and text box. Okay. So this is loan amount and text box is there. This is our design. So loan amount and text box. I will keep it as deflex justify content between. Okay, this is fine. I will keep it 6 and 6. So that looks fine enough. And styling rest you do. Right, I will just keep. That means how to put a rupee symbol inside text box. Right, inside text box, how you put the rupee symbol. That means now you need to keep this in a span. So for example, I have a rupee symbol here. So I have a rupee symbol here, or ampersand hash 8377. That will get a rupee symbol, right? And actually, these two are kept in a div. We have in a div. And what we do, we can keep this class position as relative. And this is class position as absolute. Then it will be inside. We can keep little bit. So that means we are using style and left as suppose 20 pixel. That means little left center. We can add. Now what we do is for this text box, which is having. So class we have padding left will be some 2 or 3. That means when I click, I can 4. So I can type from here. That is just appearance, how you can do that. That is all your styling knowledge, how you want to handle that. Okay. So now this is one row we are having. So another one, next one. This is amount unit. Another one we are having. This is interest rate, years. They have slider also, na? Yeah. Loan tenure. Let's design that first. That means below this, we have one more div. What is it? Input type as range. You know, we have a range, form range, and it will get the range like this. We have a range. That is a slider. That's an HTML input, right? And it is having minimum, maximum values. Suppose min is starting with suppose 1 lakh. So that is starting with 1 lakh. Max is ending with suppose 10 lakh. So that means it is like this. And value and the step is 10,000. 10,000 changes. And value is, so value we can put some initial value. Value will come dynamically later. I will show that how we can get the value. And this is the slider, and below this we have one span. This is rupee symbol, and this is 1 lakh. So that is starting from 1 lakh, and we have ending at 10 lakhs. So this is class float end. That means one will be left, another right. You know, floating left, floating right. Float end means right side will come. That's slider. Okay. Now this set I need to create. That means this is in one container. This is in one container. In one container, we are adding it. This is one container. Okay, now we will add another container. This I will change instead of loan amount, years. They have a loan tenure. Loan tenure. Okay. And in this, what we will do, this is years. So I don't need this symbol. I just need a input. Type is text, and I will give size as 2. That will be small. Loan tenure, it is small. We are having a small loan tenure option. And actually this is margin top. It will keep little down. And this loan tenure. And what we do, below this, we need a range. Minimum 1 year, maximum 5 years. Step how much? 1 year we are using. Here we will put the value as 1 year, and here we will put the value as 5 years. So that is 1 and 5 years. We have loan tenure, loan amount. That's the option. Okay. And usually labels, form label and font weight bold. Labels will have class, form label and font weight bold. So label will be different. Okay. Now one more is there. Let's copy this division. I will copy this and put one more. This time it is interest rate. Interest rate. And size is 4. Okay, minimum is 10.45, some number. Maximum is 18.45, and step is 0.01. Interest rate point wise it should increase. Okay, that's fine. And this is from 10.45% to 18.45%. That's the interest rate we are having. That's it. Now we need to first implement basic logic. So we need loan amount, we need number of years, and we need interest rate. 3 things to control. So we will put an option here. Actually, interest rate, where is it? Text box. Yeah, this is having a percent. I think it is. We need to combine. You try, put one div span, right? Yeah. Okay, now what we need to do is, when we are sliding this, and they don't have values first. So we have a constant amount. Set amount is equal to use state. Amount starts with 1 lakh. It starts with 1 lakh. That is the default value. Constant year. Set years. Years. Set years. Use state, it will start with 1. Constant rate. Set rate, it will start with. Use state, it will start with 10.45. It is starting with 10.45. Now this is the option. Okay, where to put them first? Let's go to the text box. Text box is where is it? Yeah, this is the text box. Text box value is amount, and the slider value is also amount. Amount is attached to first 2 elements. Second text box, it will have value. This is years, and range also years. Both belongs to years, and these two belong to value is rate. This also belong to rate. That is the option we are having. Now what we can do, suppose the first one. Yep. So here I define size. So size is suppose 15. 10 looks fine. That's enough. The default size of text box is 20. 20 is the default size. Now what should happen? You see, anything is not changeable. Suppose you are sliding this. It's not sliding. You are trying to make change. It's not changing because one way, until or unless you write event, they will not exhibit two way. So what should happen? So we have to write. So function handle amount change, get the value and set in amount. Set amount e dot target dot value. From where you will get the value? From text box we can get, from slider we can get. Similarly, another function handle year change e set year e dot target dot value. One more. So handle rate change. So e set rate e dot target dot value. We are accessing on this text box on change handle amount change. Slider on change. Here also handle amount change. Amount change is attached with both. Similarly, years on change, handle year change. Here on change, handle as year change. One more, rate on change, handle rate change. So on change, handle rate change. That's done. Now you can see all the change events are ready. That means when I am changing, it should affect there. I am changing, it should affect in the year. I am changing, it should affect in the rate. 2, it should affect there because same event is working with the same value. Now one more we have to do. Actually, you can put apply button or calculate button. When user clicks calculate, it can calculate and show. Or while sliding itself, we can show. Right? Both we can implement. Then how do we do that? So first point is we will write here a function. We will write a function calculate EMI. What is this function? It's a reusable function. EMI should be calculated on every change. So how you calculate EMI? First, we need P according to the formula. According to this formula, I copied that formula, I think. According to the formula, P is amount, how much money. Actually, you can visit their website. They will give you how EMI works, how EMI is calculated. You see, they give the formula. They detailedly explain because see, for customer, they have to tell how it is done, how it is calculated, what it is calculated. It's a big scenario, right? You are just building a small one. You know, people build very complex finance applications. That means it's not just like this. Lot of conditions will be there. Floating after 2 years, how much they should reduce. First 2 years, they should not calculate the general amount. They should calculate only interest amount. Like that, they have so many conditions again. We are just implementing base of that to understand events strategy, right? So what is that P? P is amount. That means it is amount. Fine. What else? We have another one is R. R is interest rate. Interest rate is what? So interest rate will come from rate. But rate comes in a percent, 10.45%. And percent cannot be used in formulas. We have to convert percent into number. So rate by 12 by 100. That means rate per year and divided by 100. It will get the conversion of percent into number. And after that, next what? So LET, I will just use LET everywhere. So after that, what is next? Next is N, PRN. And what is N? N is years, number of years. That means years into 12. Years into 12. 12. Why? Because 1 year means 12 months. 2 years means 24 months. EMI should be calculated for every month. Right. So next, now we need to calculate EMI. EMI is equal to P into means asterisk. So P into R. R is R rate. After that, 1 plus R to the power of N. That means we have to use math.pow into math.pow. So 1 plus R comma N to the power of N divided by slash and another one same math.pow. So 1 plus R to the power of N whole to the power of minus to the minus 1. That's what the formula they have. That's the formula. This is general formula you written. And what we will do is we will put a constant EMI set EMI is equal to use state EMI is currently empty. And what we will do here, so we will just put the value EMI. That means after this set EMI. Whatever EMI you calculated, you set it. And what you do is calculate EMI after every change. Calculate EMI function. You call the function after every change. Year change, rate change, amount change, calculate EMI. That's what you need to do. And if you don't know anything, JavaScript, operators, formulas, and all, it's like what? If you don't know operators, functions, and all these things, it's like Christopher Nolan movie. Because for some people it is like that. Christopher Nolan movie means, you know who? Very famous. Tenet, Interstellar, Inception. When you watch his movies on IMAX, right? Oppenheimer, you will whistle, you will clap. Interstellar movie, I watched on IMAX main screen. Everyone was clapping, whistling for every scene. After the movie completed, somebody was asking what is story. And he was irritating me with whistles, claps during the movie. After completed, he asked what is the movie story. Even a scientist can't understand his stories. Right? That means you need to put a lot of brain into that. You can't understand his concept. Right? You know, you have seen Interstellar. You know the story. No, you don't know the concept. You don't know the concept. So from where he travels, what he does, you don't know. That is pure space research. Very complicated concept. You watch Inception, right? So Memento, right? That is in Hindi, Gajni. All are his movies. Once you see his movies, now you can't understand what is happening, but you will be very engaged and entertained. That's our class also like that. No, I'm not Christopher Nolan, but I'm saying that class is like that. If you are not good at your JavaScript and all, it looks like, oh, good color. Very good color effects. But finally, what is happening, you can't do. You have to practice it very well. Right? So you need to practice. Otherwise, it looks entertaining, but finally you can't able to handle it. Right? You need practice and you need to be aware of all these things. That means how formulas, calculations. Because have you tried such things in JavaScript? You should attempt. Have you tried designing a calculator like app in JavaScript? You should attempt. Then you can replicate it with React, with React features that will help you to understand logics and scenario, right? Because see here, React is nothing. Only in React, what we done is two-way binding. We enabled on change. We collected the data. The same thing we do in JavaScript. How we do? Get element by ID dot value, right? The same thing we do. Just we need to replicate that. Now, where to show EMI? Suppose I want to display the EMI here. We will put a div. So we will put here class padding 5. And in this div, I'll say font size 1, font weight as bold. And here we want to display the EMI. And actually that is the EMI value. That's the EMI value. Right? I can just add something like, so text center. So center. So I can keep it in the center. And what is it? Now I need to calculate here. So this is nothing but monthly installment. Okay, so so monthly installment amount, I think this is enough. It's okay, right? We are just adding that. So that we will put it here and center. If I don't use center, it will be here. Finish. Now what we'll do, I'm calculating this, I'm adding this. That means it will show some number. But important, you know how to round this now. To local string na en hyphen in. You remembered I told style. Style is currency. Currency is INR. We will put minimum fraction digits. Minimum fraction digits 0. Maximum fraction digits as 0. That's how we are displaying. And it depends on how much amount. So how much monthly installments, interest rate, how much you are increasing, it will increase. Interest rate is increasing, it will increase. Number of years are decreasing, then amount also will affect based on how much years you are using. I think years is same. This amount you are increasing, it will display that. So this is basic how we handle. And I showed this just to understand the concept of element state events. On change, how they work. Slider can change, text box can change, how to collect the value, how to use the value. All this comes with this concept. These are all related to element state events. I will copy this example here. Okay. This is the example of an EMI calculator with element state events. So we have mouse events, we have keyboard events, and we have element state. Now important is we have button events. We are having button events. So button events are nothing but, on click is one button event. On double click is one event. On context menu is another one. These are button events. On click, what action should be performed? On double click, what action should be performed? On right click, what action should be performed? Context menu refers to right click. Single click, double click, right click. These are important. And generally you will use click everywhere. I will show one example. Double click means When user double clicks on anything, some animation, some effect should work. For example, let's see. So here I will use another one. I will add another component, button demo. Button demo.jsx. So export function button demo. And here we are just adding. So fluid. Okay. So what we will do is here. Yeah, we will keep one image. Image source is iPhone Marine dot webp. So width is suppose 100, height is 100, and I'll just put a paragraph. Double click to view large. Something like this we are using. That's what we want to keep in the startup. So in main, I will add button demo. Okay, I will clean up others. Whenever we need them, we can add this. Okay. Now you see, double click to view large. When I double click on this, what should happen? It should open that in a separate window, a large actual size it should open. Generally, how we do that? So we can write. So for this button, yeah, for this button, we can write a event function. So like handle click, handle double. Okay, so window have a open method. Browser window have a open method, and it should open iPhone Marine dot what webp. Title is iPhone, and it will have width. Width is suppose 400, and height as some 400. Width 300, height 400. Like this, I give it. Now this should work on image on double click. On double click, handle double click. Now what happens when I double click on this image? It should open like this, but it is opening in a new tab. That depends on browser, because some browsers don't allow. Right? What we do is, because browsers block pop-ups. So I will open another browser. I am opening my another browser, and here I double click, it will open. Browser issues will be there. Browser dependency issues will be there. The browser can open in a separate window and display. Generally, some browsers will open in a separate tab. We can open in a separate window. That's actually double click, it can open. Right? So we can perform some actions on double click. Single click, you already know, we will implement in other example also. Right click is interesting. Right click should not work. That is very common requirement in some websites. You see bank websites and all, they say that you can't right click. Right? How to prevent right click? How we can disable right click? So generally, when you are working with events, one concept you should know, every event can be disabled when it have a function that returns Boolean false. You can disable any event in browser by using a function that returns false, Boolean false. For example, now problem is there. What is problem is, you are working with virtual DOM. Virtual DOM cannot directly control actual DOM. Then what we have to do? Through virtual DOM, we should able to access the actual DOM, and through actual DOM, we have to disable. Disabling browser related any feature is not easy. Some browsers don't allow. Just you saw, some browsers don't allow to open a separate pop-up also. That means you have to do one thing. So you see now what we have to do is, so function handle context menu. Context menu means right click where anywhere in the parent div. That means I will use on context menu, handle context menu, and I will put the style height of this as, we have height as suppose 1000 pixel. Otherwise, the height is only image. How much image and paragraph is there? That much. Okay, now see what we are doing here. On context menu, we will access the original document context menu. How? Document dot on context menu is equal to on context menu. So on context menu is equal to, it uses a function. This function returns false. That means what you have to do when user right clicks in virtual DOM, we have to connect with the right click of actual DOM, and there we have to disable. And how you can disable any event in a document? Just in the document, you access the event name and you use a function that returns false. Before returning false, you want to put any alert saying that right click disabled. That message we can give. And you see anywhere I try to right click, it's not working. Right click is disabled. Okay. It don't open right click. Anywhere inside the page, you are selecting something. So you are selecting something and you are trying to right click, not working. You can disable right click. Right click doesn't open now. Not only this, disabling cut, disabling copy, disabling paste, every event, just write a function that return false. Then you can simply disable that functionality. In JavaScript based technologies, any event if you want to disable, you have to just return false. You need to call a function that return false. But unfortunately, some events don't respond virtual DOM through virtual DOM. You have to access the actual. That means, for example, if I don't do this, what I will do, I will cut this and I will directly put return false. That means I will directly put like this. That means what you are doing, you are writing an actual DOM virtual DOM function. This virtual DOM function will show alert and it will return false. You see now I am right clicking here, it's showing. But after OK, right click, after OK, right click will have to disappear. That means it will appear actually. In some browsers, it will appear right click. We should not take that chance. Then what you have to do, don't write like this because browser issues will come. What we have to do? So we have to do like this. That means we need to access the actual DOM and through that we have to disable. This is the correct way. So several options, they work temporarily, but they will create bugs, issues. That's the reason we should not take chance. We should use the correct scenario, right? So if anyone asks how we can disable, that means, on click. This is left button, single click. And this is left button, double click. This is right button, single click. These are the options we can have, right? So this is example. I will just copy this example, how we can handle. This is button demo .jsx. I hope you are clear. And we have some clipboard events. We will build another app with these events. First, I am giving some events list. What are clipboard events? On cut is one clipboard event. On copy is another clipboard event. On paste is another keyboard event. Now on cut, what action should perform? On copy, what action should? Why they are called clipboard events? What is the meaning of cut, copy, paste? If you copy or cut, that information is removed. If it is cut, it will be removed and it is kept on clipboard. Clipboard is the memory of your operating system, right? So you paste means you are inserting from clipboard. You are inserting from clipboard. Now I will give you one small try. You do later. You try that. What is the try is? So you put here. So yeah, what you do is you put here. So account number. So we have input type is text, and we have verify account. So we have input type is text. Okay. Now what I want you to try. That means what I want you to try here is account number. Account number. We are entering some account number, and generally people try to copy it and they try to paste it, but it should not allow to paste inside the text box. That generally happens everywhere. If you observe, confirm password, confirm account numbers, they don't allow to paste. You have to type. And when I copied it through some shortcut, Control C or something, how do I know that it is copied? After copying, a message should come below saying that this number copied. Right? That number copied. And after I blur, that message should hide. And I click here and try to paste. It should not paste. It should allow only to type. So what I want, anybody can select and anybody can copy. We disable right click. Anybody can copy with Control C. When it is copied, I want a message below. What is the message below saying that copied? And after that you try to paste, then it should say unable to paste. It should not allow to paste. Right? You try this logic. Can you do that? Understood the concept? Yeah, you try to do that. Right? Anyhow, this code will be pushed into the GitHub. Check that. The design will be pushed into GitHub. That means what you have to do on copy, get the status and display copied, and on paste you disable paste. Don't allow to paste. That what clipboard events you need to know, right? So I hope you are aware about this now, right? So button events, clipboard events, how we can handle the clipboard events. Next important in the events, actually touch events are there, but they are related to mobile development. You can try those events if your device is a touch screen. If you are using a touch screen laptops and all, you can try those touch events. Actually, just I will give a name. They are like mouse touch events. So we have touch events like on touch start, on touch end. We have on touch move. Like this, we have the touch events we are having. On touch start, on touch end, on touch move. These are the events. So these are the events. They same work like mouse events, but you can't try everywhere. You can try only on touch screen device. Only on touch screen device. Okay. I'm not giving any example because we can't see it practically. If you have a touch device, then what you do? You put a div. You write on touch start and you access any event. What you do? So for example, this div can instead of div, you do one thing. You put an image. You put an image. Image will have some source. When they touched, below that you put another image. This image will be preview. That means what will happen on touch, just like I move mouse over now, When I move mouse over, that image source is applied in preview. Similarly, what you do when they touch, that image source must be displayed in preview. For that, which event you can try? On touch start. You can use on touch start. That will fire up when you touch, but it will works only with touch screens. You cannot use with mouse, right? That is one option. So you can try all these options. So these are all related to mouse events, keyboard events, and other events. And this is enough for today, right? Because you need to try this. You have to design that EMI calculator. It's not easy as it looks. You need to try that. So I will give you time to finish that. And tomorrow we will create an weather app. So because we learned some unit weather app, before that, what you do is to create that weather app. Tomorrow we will have a hands-on session. You can bring your laptop, you can design along with me. But before that, what you should do, I will give points. You make it ready on your device. First, what you do is visit the website. You have to visit this website, openweathermap.org. You have to visit this website, register a new account. It's a free account. After that, sign in. Then go to your profile and there select my API keys. So what you should do, visit that website, register one new account. It's a free account. You have this sign in that go to profile. So you see, I will open this open weather map. I already signed in. Then here I have my API keys. When I select API keys, you will see it is asking to sign in again. Fine. And you see this is my API key. Whenever you register account, a free API key is given. Without this, you can't access them, right? What you do, copy this API key and keep it in your notepad anywhere in your, right? Copy and save API key in any text document so that every day you don't need to visit the website. That API key you kept, you keep into that. Yeah, that's enough. That's just API key and save it in a text document. And one more thing you have to do, go to APIs category, and select current weather data. Current weather data. That means you have to go to API category. In that API category, you will have current weather data. You can see current weather data. In current weather data, you will find API docs. You will find API docs. You see this is API docs. In this API docs, you see weather by latitude and longitude. And you will have another URL weather by city. There is another URL. This is the URL weather by city. This is weather by city. So built-in API request by city name. So you have to copy that. I will copy that built-in API request by city name and copy this URL and keep it ready in your text file. Now, once you are ready with this, we can build a weather app. Understood? So we will learn how to access the data and create one weather app. We will take help of API AI tool and we will create a design and we will design that manually. Right? We should able to design and search by city name. User enters the city, it should get the weather of that city, forecast of that details. If you can do that, that's very good. This with some events concept we will do. With events, first we will do this. After that, we will create one shopping app, a shopping like simple interface we will create. Then you will get a perfect idea with events. Okay. Tomorrow we'll do that. So tomorrow's we will do an hands-on practice, right? I will show here. You can try along with me. If there are any issues, immediately we can resolve. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue.